What handheld toy featured movable red dots and entertained a generation of early gamers? Find out next. Welcome to the #1 short podcast in the world, Big Pod Podcast. And here is your host, Jim the Giant. Welcome back to the Big Pod. Today, we're diving into the handheld electronic sports games that defined the late 1970s and 1980s. These weren't fancy color screens or apps. They were simple, addictive LED or early LCD gadgets that lit up living rooms and sparked the portable gaming craze. It all started with Mattel Electronics, the true pioneers. In 1977, they released Electronic Football, the original blockbuster that kicked off the boom. Picture this, a tiny red LED field where a single running back blip dodged defender blips as he zigzagged with buttons. It was revolutionary. No joysticks, just pure strategy and luck. Kids went nuts for it. Stores couldn't keep it stocked. Original retail? Around $20 to $25 back then, about $100 to $130 in today's dollars. Today, a working game fetches $20 to $50 on the collector market, but a mint in box original from '77 can hit $100 to $1,000 or more, especially the rare early Sears versions or prototypes. It's the king of vintage handhelds, pure nostalgia gold. Mattel didn't stop there. They quickly rolled out a whole sports lineup using that same red LED tech. Electronic baseball debuted in 1978. Then came electronic basketball and basketball 2. Electronic hockey, soccer, and electronic bowling soon followed. But Mattel wasn't alone. Competitors jumped in fast. Coleco launched their popular head-to-head series around 1978-80. LED games with two-player modes where opponents sat across from each other. Standouts included head-to-head football, their electronic quarterback rival, baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, and even boxing. These were sold for similar prices, $25 to $35 originally. Today, Coleco head-to-heads typically sell for $30 to $100 depending on condition. Original and box sets go much higher. Genx brought their own LED sports line in the late 70s and early 80s. Electronic baseball, with sequels like the Baseball 2 and 3, football variants, basketball, hockey, soccer, and tennis. Some had wired second-player controllers for true multiplayer. Prices were in the $20 to $30 range back then. Now they're collectible gems, often $40 to $120 for nice examples. Genx titles are rising in value among serious collectors. Don't forget the other variants, tons of rebrands and lesser-known makers added to the fun. Sears and Tanby Radio Shack sold rebadged Mattel and Coleco games. Bambino made cool ones like Superstar Football and Dribble Away Basketball. Knocking Out Boxing and Lucky Puck Hockey often had vacuum fluorescent displays.
Boxing, it's power, excitement, and strategy. And now it's all at your fingertips with Bambino, the boxing game with over 100 million computerized plays. Beat this electronic miracle, and you've beaten the best. One or two can play the Bambino, and you're in total control of real-looking boxers that can punch, duck, counterpunch, and go down for the 10 count. Bambino boxing with over 100 million plays. Beat a Bambino, and you've beaten the best.
Galid had MVP Football, Mego did Pulsonic Baseball 2, and Kenner released live-action electronic football. These rarer ones can surprise you. Some fetch $50 to $100, but the ultra-rare collectibles can reach in the thousands they have found in unopened original packaging. By the early 1980s, Nintendo entered with their polished Game & Watch LCD series, with sports titles like Snoopy Tennis, Boxing, and Donkey Kong Hockey. These were more advanced and super collectible now. Used working models are often found around $100. Sealed originals go way higher. Tiger Electronics flooded the market in the late 80s with cheap black and white LCD sports games. Baseball, football, bowling, even licensed games like Michael Jordan versus Larry Bird. They were everywhere for $10 to $20 originally and still cheap to grab today at $10 to $40. These games faded as the Game Boy arrived in 1989, but their legacy lives on. Whether you're reliving childhood or hunting treasures, the late 70s and 80s handheld sports era was pure magic. Simple tech, big fun. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you had one of these, subscribe for more retro deep dives, and tell me in the comments, which was your favorite? See you next time.